Welcome to the Kiki D Show. I am Kiki, and this is my co-host, my hubby, my man.
I'm
D.
I'm like,
So tonight we have the Pierce family with us tonight. So Z, take it away.
big shout out to Tamel Pierce and Travis Pierce. And yeah, they've been making some moves out there, so we can learn a few things from them today. Thank you guys for coming out and checking out. This is episode what, third episode. I know yeah, somewhere. Yeah, I think we're defined as episode 3, even though we record like 48 times. We've actually recorded you guys for about an hour. We got to get to those kids, so we're trying to keep this thing short, sweet, snappy. So let's talk about how we met. Tamel, I let you kind of do that part.
Sure. Well, thank you, Dee and Kiki, for having us on.
We appreciate it.
Right. So I was referred to Dee by a hometown friend. I expressed my interest in looking into an investment property. It was something that I was interested in for years, and I was referred to a realtor named Benita Scott out in Raleigh, North Carolina, and Benita referred me to Dee. I told her what I was interested in doing, and she said, hey, listen, I've got a guy who's really good in this space, and I really think that he would be a good mentor for you. And so really that's really how it got started. And I think we're going on, 2 years now? 2 years.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Benita Scott.
The property shop is definitely where it's at.
That's right. That's right. Big shout out to Benita Scott. Okay, so that's how we met. And at that time, we've done a number of transactions. You picked up some investment property. You've done some restructuring on your primary. And you guys are kind of out there getting in, making it happen. Good deal. Good deal.
As much as possible.
We're trying to,
That's right.
the economy right now is put a pin in it, but that's okay. I think we got in at a really, really good time with some really good interest rates that were just phenomenal. So
Indeed.
hoping that resurfaces again, and when the opportunity presents itself, we'll be ready.
Absolutely. And you definitely want to be ready. And that's what we're doing, because we did a lot of buying during the time when the rates were super low, and now the rates have come up. So it's definitely making it much more challenging to cash flow on a property. So deals, nice deals and underwrite deals throughout the day. It's 4 or 5 deals I can find that will pencil because the rates were so low. Now you really have to take your time and really look for some off-market properties, or catch some properties that have been on the market for a while that may need a little bit of work.
Right.
So definitely a little bit more work. Today's topic is supposed to be, how do you work together financially? Now, as a lender, I run maybe 1,000 credit reports a year. And I often notice that just the pattern of different couples having a difficult time. So you need to talk about her, you need to talk to, making it happen. So I want to bring up some super cool couples. And so I brought the Tamel Pierce couples, because I've been talking to you guys for a while. It's like I know Travis, and we haven't shaken hands yet, but we will someday.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Next time we're here, we're gonna do a dinner, my dime, no drinks.
Definitely like that.
Start rolling, baby. These rates are high, things are different. No, but that's it. So we're gonna talk about, how do you guys work together financially? Now, you guys have been married for how long?
Almost 10 years.
Yep, almost 10 years.
Be 10 years in 9 years. Well, it's 9 years right now.
Yeah.
So, I like to round up,
Right.
almost.
That's right. That's right. Round up when you're having fun. That's right. Absolutely. That says a lot. That's great. So the last couple of couples that we've had on, it's been 10 years. And we met both of those couples before they got married. So
Okay.
yeah, that was pretty cool. And you guys are pulling up on 10 years. That's almost a decade behind you.
That's
So
right.
that is so awesome.
So that's a life journey right there.
That's a life journey, baby, from now until forever. So you're
That's
thinking,
right.
you guys gonna be rolling miserable, or you're gonna be rolling happy, but we're gonna be rolling together no matter what. So we're going together no matter what. So
Absolutely. We always say it takes two.
That's right. It takes two. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
we call ourselves TNT, like dynamite. TNT.
that's right.
Yeah.
There's a saying in a book, kicking out after you say I do book, it's the workbook. And it says marriage is like a pair of shears, often moving in opposite directions, punishing anything and anyone that comes between them. And I always loved that because just like you said, it can't be like that. It's like, look, she's on one end, I'm on the other. There's a problem, there's an issue, and there's a human. We slice them through just like that. And that's how it needs to be. So I want you guys to share with us a little bit about how you guys manage your finances together. Do you guys do it jointly or do you do it separately? And there's no right or wrong. You know, there's no right or wrong. It's what works. You understand what I'm saying? So it's what works. So tell us, is it jointly or is it separate?
All right. Okay. Yeah. I can start. So it's actually a combination of both. We got married in our late 20s. So when we got married, I had my own condo. She had her own townhouse. We had our own separate, primary residences that, basically we owned or were paying towards owning. And
Hello, my name is Kiana Hughes, daughter of D. Hughes, aka Wolf Knows VA Loans, at Mortgage Solutions Financial, home of the no minimum credit score VA loan. You heard that right, no minimum credit score. If you or anyone you know is an active duty service member or a veteran, you are eligible for a no minimum credit score VA loan. So please get in contact with my dad, D. Hughes, at 919-946-0423 and apply online at www.valoansbywolf.com.
when we came together, we, in discussions, when you get to know each other, we decided to kind of keep things separately and slowly, gradually bring them together. And, fast forward, now we have two children, two beautiful daughters, 1 6 and 1 8. And so it's even more important to work jointly and as a team. So we've been transitioning away from that and moving more towards, joint account. We have for a while now, like we said, almost 10 years together. So, we're deep in it now, but we have a joint account and we still maintain our separate accounts. We have our own separate, obviously 401ks, pension plans. We do have life insurance policies. We are looking into IULs as a mode of savings, not necessarily, like permanent life insurance, using it more so as a savings account. We dabble in the stock market. And so we do those things jointly. But it is important that we continue to work together, especially having two daughters to take care of and make sure we have something to leave behind to them.
Absolutely. That's a statement that, Yes.
You have anything you want to add to that?
What'd you say, D?
Go ahead. I want you to tell us your feedback. Give us your take.
Yeah. Just to piggyback off of what Travis said, we believe in having roles here in our house. So he is the CFO, so he's Chief Financial Officer. He's good with budgeting and financing and managing money. I like to think of myself as a CEO. He says I like being the boss. And I'm not necessarily the boss, but every now and then I have to do an audit check, to make sure checks and balances are lining up. But like he said, we got together, and I'm not going to say late in life, but by the time we had met, we both had our own homes and autos and things like that. And just trying to combine it at that time just didn't seem like the right thing for us. So we made an agreement that, hey, look, we're going to have a joint account and we're going to have separate accounts. And that works for us. We have a set amount of money that we put into a joint account every month. And we use that account to pay all of our household bills. So, our primary mortgage, if there's any insurance policies, all the joint bills come out of that joint account. And that's what we use on a consistent monthly basis. And for us, it works. So if he decides that, hey, listen, I want to go out and buy a Rolls Royce, well, that's going to be coming out of his separate account. It's not going to be coming out of the joint account. So, I mean, but we always discuss any major purchases. If, hey, look, we need to put more money into the joint account, we both will have a conversation. Thankfully, we're really good in that space where we don't argue about finances. It's a conversation. It's let's get on the same page, because we believe that we are a team.
Yeah.
And good teams work together to achieve the goal. And we work very well in that space.
Yeah, I agree.
That's so good. Now, I remember listening to an interview with Melanie Hobbs, and I think she's like CEO or something like that, Arrow Finance, something like that, right? And she said that you could be in a cubicle and the person down the hall could be in a different cubicle, and you could be doing everything right and living your life properly financially and get to retirement. The other person could have done everything wrong, and they would be a burden on you as society. So it leads me to this question. When you do these things separately, do you have a system in place to ensure the other party is being responsible from a retirement standpoint? Do you come together as a team and say, hey, how's your retirement account doing? Is it projecting a sufficient, amount for when we get to retirement age, et cetera? Do you do anything like that?
Like a coming to the table.
Like a coming to the table, right?
Well, we have what I like to call budget meetings. And we do those, I like to say quarterly, like when the kids aren't here. My husband is big on spreadsheets, and he's still old school where he writes down a lot of things on, pad and pencil. And so we have budget discussions quite often to understand where finances are. From a retirement standpoint, we kind of look at a couple of different things. What goes into 401k, which of course we see each other's pay stubs, so we know what goes into that. But also, the stock market, that's kind of where we are trying to research, maybe like a financial advisor or planner to help us understand good, wrong, indifferent, what we're doing right, and maybe guide us in that piece of it. But I don't think we officially have a retirement plan in place. That's probably an area of opportunity.
Hi, my name is D. Hughes, aka Wolf Knows VA Loans at Mortgage Group Financial, home of the no minimum credit score VA loan. I'm calling on all agents, you, the realtors who are on the front line. We're asking you to take the time. Look at all your clients, those who have been turned down by your primary lender. I ask that you give me a call, because here at Mortgage Solutions, we believe our veterans, our active military personnel, deserve a second look.
That we need to do better with and having an actual conversation about.
Right, because and through our, just to piggyback off of that, through our employers, we're naturally kind of putting in retirement. So we'll check on those every now and then when we get the statement, but we both know we're not going to touch it. Excuse me, sorry about that. We both know we're not going to touch it. So we're just trying to look into different ways to build, to build another cushion, so to speak, another savings, or just another basket of savings, so to speak. But as far as how often we come together, we do it probably without even thinking about it. When we get to bed at night, we may talk about it. But
right, he'll say you need to put need to put an extra $500 in the account for your swimming lessons,
right.
Something like that. Okay, thanks.
Caught me off guard.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
He'll say, what's this charge for? I'm like, okay. So I've been caught.
I've been caught too. Sometimes I've
Right.
and she catches me.
Both
Because
you
they
guys,
keep a lot of the
both you guys
family
are super.
expenses on our, we have a joint credit card that we put all of our expenses on, like household expenses. So anytime, and he gets all the notifications. So if, there's an Amazon purchase out there, I'll get the screenshot like, hey, what's this? I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I bought the kids something, or, so he's all over it.
yeah.
Let me ask you a question. So when he does that, I know probably like, oh, here we go again, but do you have a partner that's like happy that he's on it like that?
Oh, absolutely. That's why that's his role.
Yeah.
He's good in that space. And so, you feed into where people's talents are. And that's his,
Right.
he's very much attention to detail. So I probably wouldn't catch it. Now I've had some expenses and I'm like, wait, that shouldn't be up there. So, then we'll, tag team like, hey, we need to call the credit card, or something's not right, or we've been overcharged for something. So again, he's really good in that space. Now we do a lot of other things like balance transfers. Like when we took our kids to Disney, it was very expensive, so we took out a Disney credit card together. And we're like, okay, well, the interest kicks in on this date, so before that interest kicks in, then we transfer it to a card that has 0% interest.
Yeah.
So we work well together because it may be a credit card that I have, or maybe a credit card has, but we, work together in that space.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really good. That's really good. So I think you covered the last two topics here. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the final phase, right? And that is, and I didn't mention this in the dry run. So this is gonna be straight up. And what role does real estate investing play in your overall financial goals as a team? What role does I know at one point you said to me that you wanted to accumulate enough cash flow that it would replace your W-2. So maybe you just share what role does real estate investing play for the two of you as it relates to your long-term financial goals?
And I'm gonna start because I know you probably have a lot to say. Because so I was very risk averse, to begin with. Like the HELOC, and going through that process, taking out another loan. I mean, I was very apprehensive about that. But after talking with her and understanding, what real estate investing can really do for us in the long term, and serve as passive income, it only made sense, and then, tapping into resources like yourself and Benita, y'all have just been a wealth of information to kind of, go through this journey with. I was going somewhere with that, but I already forgot, unfortunately. But I'll turn it over to her. I did want to say that I was real risk averse to it at first, but I'm glad we're doing it. And it's been great ever since.
Now that first transaction, that's when you took out an equity line, or did you do a cash out? You took out an equity line and used the equity of your primary to go purchase additional real estate.
Correct.
In that process, you were a little bit.
Yeah, that was the first time.
We can do it, and then you and I spoke, including the realtor. We talked about the strategy, and then you became more comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of times, just getting more information makes you feel more comfortable, because the fear really comes from the ignorance of not knowing how this could play out. But when you can have a conversation with someone and you feel comfortable, the person's giving you legit information, then you can become more comfortable. So I think that's what you're trying to say.
Exactly. Yeah, but I know, because the real estate guru over here.
I'm not a real estate guru. I'm trying to get there, but I am a long way away. Your question was, well, I think for us, it is really about building generational wealth. Like, yes, it's great to, have the passive income, but it's really about leaving our children something when we're not here and passing it down to our great grandchildren. People talk about generational wealth, but there is no better way to pass it down, in my opinion, other than through real estate. It's just, that is the only thing that over a period of time has not failed. And most people who have built generational wealth have done it through real estate. So that is really the end goal is, of course, acquiring enough properties where, hey, I create my own schedule and I don't, necessarily have to depend on my corporate job, but more so freeing up time where I can spend more with my family, especially my children, but also passing that down. So when they graduate, working for them is optional. I still want them to be able to work, but I think um,
No minimum credit score on VA loans? Yes, true. Are you in active duty? Perhaps you're a veteran. Don't miss out on this historic market. You should contact our team. Ask about the no minimum credit score on VA loans. It's an easy step.
when you work because you want to and not because you have to, it makes it makes a lot of difference in your life.
Mhm.
It really does. It really does. Because it allows you to leave an appreciating asset that the kids can feed off of without necessarily depleting it. They can leave it to their children. And I think it's our duty as well. When you have children, you decide to take on a family. I think it's important that you leave an inheritance to your children's children. I think it's really a duty to do. If you can adhere to something like that, I think you should probably, really do your best to do so if possible. And if not with an asset or with a monetary, inheritance, also with some wisdom and some knowledge. And I was thinking about something you were talking, and you were saying you have the business meetings, so to speak, the budget meetings. And I was wondering if you do those meetings where your children can see you in those meetings. Are they seeing mommy and daddy? Communicate back and forth in a productive way about what the goals are and what we're going to do? Or do you do it when they're in bed or what have you?
Well, we have conversations, especially about the value of money all the time with our children, but the actual budget meetings, they're 6 and 8. So,
That's right.
their
Yeah.
attention span and trying to understand what we're saying right now at that age
Right.
is not, it's where it should be at age 6 and 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, the goal is eventually to invite them into the conversations. And
Absolutely.
as we start building and screening tenants and going through the entire process, taking them with us throughout that journey, because one day we're doing this for them. So they need to be hands-on early. So they're not 35 trying to figure out, well, what did mommy and daddy do? Why didn't they educate us? I think educating your children early on is another key to helping them be successful in life.
Yes. And the thing is, anytime they ask us a question, we tell them the truth. Now, granted, they're still learning multiplication and division and addition and subtraction for our first grader. But yeah, we try to include them and definitely plan on bringing them more to the fold, like Tamel said. But little things just to help them understand money, like at the fair. We recently went to the fair this weekend, and we had to remind our oldest daughter that, hey, we've already spent $200. And so do you understand that kind of thing, and say, hey, we're not just out here for free, and just helping them understand everything costs. And so that's even more reason why it's important to budget and have a plan. Of course, we haven't gotten that far with them, but they know how we kind of talk about things and money around the house. Like, for instance, something as small as, hey, you didn't eat your dinner. That's like a $10 plate. What's going on? Right. So that's just kind of ways to introduce it. That's introduce it, to get them thinking financially, like, hey, everything really does cost.
And another, like he said, we took them to the fair this weekend, and they want the big teddy bears, right? They don't understand that, hey, and I explained to my oldest daughter, I said, you know why they have so many teddy bears? And she's like, no. And I said, because nobody's winning them. And I said, you know why nobody's winning them? And she's like, no. And so what we did, they wanted us to spend $20 on a game, which we weren't going to do. And so what we had them do, we said, hey, we want you to stand back and we want you to observe the people trying to throw the ring on the duck. And I want you to tell mommy and daddy how many people are able to get the ring on the neck of the duck. And we probably stood there maybe 5-10 minutes,
Yeah.
and not a single person did. And I said, now, and I said, you know, how upset would you have been if we would have paid them $20 and you still would not have won a prize? I said, you'd have left empty-handed. And I said, so here's what we're going to do next year. Next year, when you get your birthday money, we're going to allow you to take $20 of that, and we're going to allow you to spend it however you want to at the fair. Now, if you decide that you're going to take that $20 and spend it and don't win anything, that is a decision that you made. So I want you to understand that. I'm not going to let you spend all of your money at the fair, but these are lessons that you need to learn so you understand how to best use your money.
Right.
So we'll see how it goes next year.
Yeah.
Right.
And on the flip side, getting away from the fair, like our oldest daughter likes to make bracelets and things of that nature. And one time she was giving them away, and I was like, well, "Why are you giving them away?" You know, and,
Right.
you know, if people want something, charge them $1 or something. And she started
Right.
doing that. She
She
came on
did.
with like $3 and things of that nature. So,
She sure
you know, a
did.
little entrepreneurial spirit there,
Mhm.
which is good.
That's right.
Which is good to see. So, you know, they're both sides. to
6
it.
and 8.
Yeah.
They're
That's
both
6
sides
and 8.
to it. Yeah.
Cool. I remember growing up, I watched my grandmother do her bills on a notebook, and then, so when I joined the Army, I was just asking, how do I get money? I was just kind of mapping how much money I can save in 30 years.
Mhm.
I didn't stay in the Army for 30 years. That's just like way too long. But I had it mapped out when I first got this. So my grandmother used to do. Hey, we appreciate you guys coming out
Thank
and
you.
joining us
Thank you.
on
It's
this
been a
call.
pleasure.
Thank
It was
you.
amazing. We learned some things. I can't wait to go to the fair with my grandson and hit him with that Tamel. That was great. I was like, because he bugged the mess out of me to play one of those games. And all I gave him was, those games are rigged. You're not playing
Right.
games. So,
Right.
yeah.
You
Started
gotta
hitting him with
gotta
that sword,
show.
you can learn something.
Yeah.
Not just think of it. But we appreciate you guys. We thank you for taking the time. We got to get to the 6 and the 8-year-old. They probably back looking at mommy on camera right now. So yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
It's been a
guys, for
pleasure.
having us.
God bless you.
Yes.